Welcome to the Game Rage Music Show.
I know this is a music-related podcast, but God, that theme song is just so good, man. It's just so good. I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but man, it's just good. Anyways, obviously that was wrong. This is the All Gas No Trash podcast on the Game Rage Podcast Network. As always, this is episode number 31. And as always, my name is Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Howdy.
And today we're going to talk about some musical shit, some music-related topics, and music-related things. Yeah, buddy. So, you got any news? You got anything to share before we start?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love hearing that.
Man, so there was somebody that follows me on Instagram.
Okay. Is it an artist?
No, it was just somebody that's been following for a minute.
Okay, just
following me for a minute.
One of the All Gas No Trash faithful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking dozens and dozens. So this guy usually sends me stuff because as it is evident, I'm quite passionate about music, right?
Yeah.
So he likes sending me stuff, even though I don't want to say that because I'm gonna sound like a prick, so I won't say it. So he sent me this account that I know of. It's called Face Melts.
Face Melts. Okay.
It's an Instagram account, and they talk about bands and shit.
All right.
So he sends me one.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe who it was. This is an account that has 276,000 followers. I think they're bullshit, dude. I mean, I'm not to get like into conspiracy theory thing, but I see how it works kind of where KCRW and I think K-Rock do it where they'll, what bands are you guys listening to? Because they're trying to fish for information.
Yeah.
They try to aggregate music through their posts so that
they can find shit.
They
Easy.
can find
it's like people are telling them what to go play and listen to.
Yeah. So it's not like they're doing the dirt themselves.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So that was what initially kind of ticked me off. Because I actually went out of my way to go find this band on my own. Or rather that they fell into my lap because I like looking for music and searching for it. And, so he sends me a reel and it's Gut Health.
Oh, man.
So everybody on this post, there's like comments. Oh, Gut Health is awesome. Queens of the Stone Age had them on their opening act or whatever. I'm like, fucking hey, dude.
Motherfucker.
That was something we talked about in fucking episode 1.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but this is something I personally talked about since I think like November of 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm a year and a half ahead of this fucking thing. And the only reason that they probably know about this band is because of Queens of the Stone Age. Somebody probably tipped them off.
Do you think he sent it to you knowing that you've been talking about this shit?
Yeah, because he's somebody that looks at my stories and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm sure
you were just like, oh, hey, look, these assholes are talking about him now.
Yeah. So it just, I don't know how to word this, dude.
So no, just word it. Just put it out. Just if you've got hate in your heart, let it out.
If you got hate in your heart, man, I fucking grind for music, dude.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I really go down rap. When you talk about what I do in my spare time,
it's music
for all this shit.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing this, I'm looking for music constantly because I'm trying to stay on top of the shit that happens.
Right.
So it bothers me a little bit when there's bigger accounts that I know are basically aggregators of music that have the luxury of having a following, a brand that allows them to have people basically feed them information to them, right?
No, that's true.
And I'm doing all the dirt by myself on my own, finding this shit. I say these things are awesome.
Right.
from the get-go. I don't wait around. This is all intuitive. This is all intuition, dude.
You don't wait until they're proven to be good by the masses or others.
I just know. I can't.
You know it.
I can't tell you like why that is. I just know. Gut Health has been one of those bands that I've talked about on this podcast. So for them to say that, I'm like, that's fucking a year and a half, or maybe even 2 years after the fact that they debuted or started touring or playing music live, and then they finally came out with their EP in November of 2022, I believe.
Yeah.
But I was on it, man. I was fucking on it. And
true.
So it's a little bit of a confirmation to say that, yes, I am in touch. I have my ear to the ground. I can.
Yeah.
Now it's just figuring out like how we get to that level of esteem.
Yeah.
Or prestige that people start. And I don't even want to say that once we get to that level that I'm not going to look for stuff, because I'm still. Well, I don't want it to be fed to me either.
That's one of the things that you enjoy doing about this is finding the stuff yourself. So it's not, and that's what the difference is with what you're doing and what we're doing, as opposed to the people who are they need to find new shit to make money, right? That's what they need. They need to. You need to find new bands to satiate something inside of you. I don't even know what it is. And I don't want to be derogatory, but it's like, oh, hey, what's that over there? Oh, that's just my autism acting up. It's just like that. You need to satisfy that because you have to. There's no other option. If you couldn't scratch this fucking itch of finding things that people don't know about, who knows how crazy you would actually be, what kind of crazy shit you'd be doing, what kind of drug habits you'd probably be into. Okay. Probably horrible ones. You'd probably have been doing meth by now. I don't know. But people that are in the industry, they need to do it to make money. And that's where they're like, oh man, if somebody feeds me some shit, oh yeah, you don't want to be. And that's the charm of this is you go out and find this shit before anybody else knows about it, before anybody else has given any validation to this band or this artist, right? Maybe no one even knows about them, but you found them and you said, oh shit, I think this is pretty good. I know this is good. And then it turns out here a year and a half later, something that you said, oh man, I know this is good. I know this is going to be something. Now others are beginning to talk about it. And honestly, I don't know if that's a gift, if it's a talent, if it's a curse. Who knows what that actually is? But whatever it is, good, bad, or otherwise, that's what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So
getting that little reel, it was bittersweet. It's both a nod to myself that, yes, I'm keen to that stuff. I'm basically repeating myself, but yeah, I'm keen to music, perceptive, intuitive.
Right.
And then it just sucks to know that I don't have that following yet to say, to have an audience to direct to a band and say,
right,
hey, let's get you to fucking 3,000, 5,000 followers and get you on the track that you want to be on. Because your shit's good, and I know it is.
Yeah.
And because right,
because and this is where we're in the position of, well, we're not really anybody yet. But through time and effort, we've started to become something. I don't know what that is or where we're at with that yet, but it's percolating. It's cooking.
I would say so. I mean, assuming that if you're teasing or hinting at the thing that might come down in 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not that would be like the one situation, but it felt like a nod.
Yeah.
It felt like a nod to potentially better things. It's at least one indication.
Right. Yeah, of course. So I think that there are going to be more and more of those coming in the future months ahead. More of those nods of what do you call them? The affirmations, right?
The affirmations, yeah. Or the synchronicities. Or
yeah. Those things that are opportunities that are, shit. Just like the thing with the getting into the one thing as press with at the thing, the gaming expo that's in Vegas coming up.
Oh, right.
Just getting into that, just that alone, that right there was a nod of, oh, hey, somebody vetted us and thought we were legitimate enough to deem us that.
1 ounce of legitimacy.
Yeah, 1 ounce. This other thing, another ounce. I'm sure something else is going to come along, be another ounce. And then eventually the scale will tip where there's enough ounces of legitimacy on that side of being legit as opposed to the opposite side, which is weighed down by hate and illegitimacy. And, eventually it'll weigh itself out. And then that's how we get that at tipping point. And then the floodgates open. And then that's when a new artist that you find that no one knows about. Hey, everybody, go check this out. Hey, also guys that nobody knows about. Hey, you want to do an interview? Fuck. We will interview you before anybody else. And then, man, wouldn't it be great if in 3 or 4 years it turned out they were like the next fucking whatever band, whatever, the next fucking Green Day or the next fucking Blink 182 or whatever, pick your poison here. And we interviewed them before anyone else. That's where we are going to fucking be.
Yeah. If it's not about the numbers, at least we have 30 episodes to say
31.
These are all the fucking things that we talked about in those moments. Because I don't know if it displays a date on when they're posted.
Yeah, I think it does. Well, at least on my end, I can see a date. But
so the way I see it is that if we hit the lottery on something, whatever that might be, whatever thing or however that manifests,
right?
That we have, and maybe we're 100 episodes in.
Yeah, who knows?
But at least we have a track record of 100 episodes to say we were talking about X things about X bands in that instance when it happened.
Yeah. However long ago, however, a year ago or whatever. I mean, well, again, you have the Twitter record of whatever, a year and a half ago, or not Twitter, I'm sorry, Instagram record of you talking about them on there. We've got September or October of 2023, the first fucking episode that we put out. And shit, we recorded that episode. Or no, it was in August. I'm sorry. We recorded that episode fucking probably earlier than that. That was probably even closer into being in July or June. Yeah. So we fucking recorded those episodes all the way back then, and you were talking about it. And it's like, there's a timestamp. There's proof. We're not just talking shit and saying nonsense. The shit that we're saying is actually coming to pass. So that's what eventually will. And honestly, I don't want to speculate, or I don't want to toot my own horn here, or our own horn, because really it's really toot your horn, because it is you. I'm just fucking sidekick Josh on this. I'm just Jerry the King Lawler here. I'm just fucking yucking it up and saying fucking things. You're doing all the work for this. You're looking at all the bands. You're doing all this shit for this podcast. So I don't want to toot your horn too much, but I think the reason why our numbers for this specifically, along with everything else, but this one in particular, are continuing to rise and rise higher than some of the other things that we do is because people that listen, they're starting to say, oh, hey, these guys are actually like saying stuff that's like legit. It's not bullshit. It's not just horse shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about stuff that maybe I'm turning into listening to, or, whatever. And sure, we haven't gotten the interaction with social media like we like.
Sons of bitches, dude.
But
I appreciate you guys, but at the same token, fuck me, dude. Can you just say hi? Like, can you do the wave emote?
Yeah, just fucking just be like, hello.
Please, dude. I mean, fuck, dude. Tell us we're pieces of shit.
Oh, that would be great. Tell us. I'd love to be told I was a piece of shit, because then that means you're real and you're out there. Not that we don't think any of you are real.
And also, it would help us to know where are you fucking listening from, because
that's true.
We're not getting ratings on Spotify.
No one's giving us shit on anything.
I don't want to throw jabs at fucking other podcasts, but there's other podcasts I know about.
Yeah,
they have reviews. I'm like, this is just all right, and they have 5 stars.
Yeah, get fucked.
So, I mean, regardless, if you're listening, I mean, that's usually more than enough. But if you guys could go the extra mile and just help us out.
Oh yeah, man. And then just to talk of because I do think a lot of it has to do with not the majority, but a good portion of our listeners are
Belgian.
Yes, they're Belgian, but they're also not American. They're not in the United States. I mean, we have now some downloads from Malawi, from Bhutan.
Oh fuck.
We have.
Oh man.
What, do you know somebody in Bhutan that's
okay? So this isn't relevant to the music one.
Okay.
But did you see the thing I was posting about that Bhutan has a baseball? They're trying to organize. There was a guy taking photographs because he's involved with this organization that's trying to bring baseball to Bhutan.
Uh-huh.
And oh man, it was badass. It was the what do they call it? The backset or the drop?
Yeah, the backdrop.
The backdrop was this mountainside, and then it was like a Buddhist temple, or it wasn't a temple, but it was the Buddhist statue, and there was a compound, and they were playing fucking baseball. It was the coolest fucking thing ever, dude. So
that's cool.
Remind me to possibly reach, because that guy doesn't have a lot of followers, but he was.
Dude,
they had MLB highlighted him because they were trying to show that baseball's spreading in other countries and shit.
That'd be
that'd
be a great guy to talk to, man.
I have to go back on the MLB post to see what that guy's name is again, because that'd be something cool to talk about.
Yeah, that would be something cool to talk about. But yeah, man, we got.
Oh, so anyways, you were saying
we got people from Australia now. We've got fucking all the South American countries.
We finally got Australia.
Yeah, we finally got some Australians to listen.
All right, well, fuck, man. We'll start listening to us because we're, for whatever reason, I'm being drawn to Australia right now. As far as I think, truthfully, I think you guys are doing music better than the U.S. By and large, and in terms of diversity and genres and shit, I think Australia is fucking killing it compared to us, because I'm not really finding anything here in the U.S. I'm just fucking talking my ass about. I mean, you guys obviously have Royal Otis. I mean, I have an opinion, obviously, but I'm willing to recognize that they're a great band. They're just not my flavor right now. But you guys have obviously other great bands like. Or rather artists, Genesis Owusu, TK Mates, and all the post-punk stuff with GT, the Chats, Gut Health, Split System. And then there's people within the house genre, this guy named Dugan Jr., who is he's on Mad Decent Records. That's Diplo's record label. I didn't know that, but I found that out. But yeah, dude, Australia's fucking killing it, man. Melbourne is the fucking place. Yeah.
Bluey is awesome. Fucking, that's how I learned all my stuff I know about Australia is from Bluey.
Yeah, fuck.
So
shrimps on the barbie.
Yeah, and then and also I would just like to say, since we don't have any listeners from New Zealand, that I can squarely say fuck New Zealand. All right, for our Australian listeners, we may get an all gas, no trash, New Zealand sucks fucking shirt made,
and then the next episode will be all New Zealand.
Yeah, it'll be fuck off. Hey, listen, this is their incentive, because if whoever has the most listeners, that's who gets the whatever sucks shirt. All right. That's what we'll have. So
wait, so what other countries did you actually have other countries?
Oh yeah. Well, there's a bunch, but I think we've named some of them or most of them before, but those were just some of the new ones that I recognize or that I didn't recognize from before. But yeah, Belgium obviously is the number one in terms of foreign audience. France is probably the number two.
That's interesting.
Then Sweden's the third biggest foreign audience. And then the Russian Federation.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we got some Russians listening. Portugal. Then we got Nigeria.
No Mexico, huh?
Yeah, Mexico I think is on here potentially. Let me see. I got to go further down the list. So we got Nigeria, Germany, Turkey, Malawi, Bhutan, Japan.
That's cool.
Australia, Portugal, the UK, Sweden again, Austria, more Belgium, Ireland.
Okay.
More France, Spain, Norway, Italy, Brazil, Ecuador, Norway. Peru, Mexico.
All right, cool.
Mexico.
We got.
I don't know where they're from though, because this NC and then Canada on here as well. But because it doesn't do it just by country. It also does a separate tally for the city that you're in.
Oh,
so for Mexico, it's like NA. So I don't know if they have a VPN or something on, and it can't track what they're doing or whatever, which is possible, I guess.
It's a cornucopia of countries.
Yeah, that's quite a few countries, and we're doing hot skippity good as far as I'm concerned. So
all right, Shit. What were we on about?
We were on about your. I think we were talking about your getting the due, and it sucks not seeing other big places are getting shit fed to them and then getting credit for it, but then like you're finding shit on your own, and we're just not at the point where we can really help them out yet. I mean, I think we can help just based on the number of downloads we get consistently. We can make a difference for some artists. Yeah, we're not going to get you. Listen, our own people don't even fucking follow us on social media, so I can't guarantee you they're going to come follow you. But you know what's funny? They probably would. They probably will. I don't know how young Gatita's numbers are looking, but she is the highest downloaded album review that we've done. Shoelace and a Knot or whatever. And
what is it at?
Fuck, let me go back and look.
Please tell me it's at least like 25.
Oh yeah, no, it's 42 downloads total.
Okay.
And you know, that's our highest rated download our album review album. And Munya's still the lowest. But
yeah, that speaks for itself. No offense.
Yeah, no offense.
I mean, it was a decent album. I don't
think anybody cared about it. That's what it is.
Yeah, but Young Gatita, man, like
yeah,
that,
man, so good, man.
I knew. Okay, I thought she was good and everything, but I wasn't expecting the album to be that fucking good.
Yeah. And so, anyways, I think that yes, those 42 people that listened, I don't know how many out of those 42 were, what's the word I'm looking for? Didn't know about her prior to this, right? Hell, the reason why it could be so big is because all the people from her record label and everybody went to listen to us talk about it, maybe. Who the fuck knows? But I would have to think that at least one person fucking followed her. So we moved the needle minutely,
yeah,
but still moved it potentially.
Yeah.
And maybe all of them fucking listened, or maybe all of them fucking followed her and downloaded or bought her album. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. So on the subject of album reviews, I think I might have another one that's coming out this week.
Man, what's that one?
It's this group called the Sinceres. They're like soul music.
Oh, soul music. We haven't done one of those.
Yeah. So this is their debut album, but they've been around for a minute, but they've never put out a proper album. So I thought maybe that'd be cool to do for another episode. I think it comes out this week.
What's it called? Sinceres? How do you spell that?
SINSEERS.
SEERS. Okay, let me see if I can find it on.
Wait, what's today?
Today is the 15th.
Oh, okay.
Sinceres. Is it V with THEE?
Is today Wednesday or Thursday?
It's Friday now, but it was.
I'm getting confused now. All right. Sinceres.
The Sinceres?
Yes.
Like THEE?
THEE.
Oh man, these guys. Oh shit, they're live in Riverside. That's cool. All right, so what's the album called?
I don't know. It should be a bunch of people standing around.
There's one called Sincerely Yours coming March 22nd. So that's actually going to be next
week. Okay, so then next week that's going to be our program for next week.
Oh yeah, next Friday that comes out. So we'll download it we'll do it on Friday. We'll do it next Friday. We'll do it on the day.
Okay.
And I'm going to add this to my fucking thing so it's already in my library.
Okay.
Let's see, do they have any songs out?
They do, but
hold on, and can't do that to her. You didn't like any of them?
No, I didn't like one of them. I can't remember which one it was.
All right, cool. Well,
it's just going to be funny because I know some of the members. So,
oh, you do?
Like, I'm going to give an impartial opinion. So whether they like it or not, I don't really care.
Who do you know on this?
There's a woman in there.
The only woman, you mean?
The only woman, yes.
You know her?
There's a long-haired gentleman.
A long-haired gentleman.
And then there's the main person who is the portly fellow.
Oh, okay. The woman, does she do like solo work, or is it just the only thing that she's in?
No, she's in another band called the Altons.
Oh, okay.
So they're right. This is like they mingle amongst
themselves. They commingle members and whatnot. I mean, there are like 12 people on this fucking photo. So I mean, I imagine they probably have like a fucking 14-piece band going on here. Which that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know how I feel about, I mean, I enjoy all types of music. As long as it's not country, I'm giving it a shot. Mm-hmm. I really do hope, sincerely,
no pun intended,
that we never review a country album.
I actually hope we do.
Yeah.
And I know who it's going to be.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
going to be this artist, Lady Appletree.
She does country?
Yeah, she does country, Americana folk stuff.
Well, folk is all right. I'll give it a shot, but I'm just talking like straight country. I'm on my horse downtown. Nope, don't want to do it. But I mean, you're right. We should. I hope we never do, but we probably should, just to say we've hit all the genres at some point.
I like her and
Lady Appletree.
Yeah. So
does she have a new album coming out?
She has an EP, but I don't know if she has a new album coming out. But we'll be talking to her. I'm sure. Hopefully, I'll get to see her after South by Southwest. But she was one of the artists that. And that's going to be one of the topics that we talk about later. That's one of the two major topics we'll be talking about. This is just kind of the bullshitting segment.
Yeah, this is the introduction. This is well, I asked you about news and things, and this is the intro segment.
Yeah.
All right, Lady Appletree. Maybe we can potentially have her on for an interview, perhaps, if she would be interested. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, shit, we already have enough. Hopefully she'd be open to doing something like this to do an interview.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about a topic, and I don't know if this is something we've talked about previously because I can't keep track of everything.
Yeah.
We fucking talk about. We're 31 episodes in at this point. But I think it's time to make music meaningful again. The act of purchasing music, because it seems as though purchasing music is something that's done out of pity. Where you're just buying an album. Well, actually, I take that back. That's not totally true. If you really enjoy an artist, you would like to have the physical copy of their music in case, let's say, Spotify or iTunes eventually goes down and you don't have that luxury of having access to all this music. Like you have it as a backup.
Right.
So, shit, maybe we might have a third topic.
Oh,
I just thought of it right now. All
right.
Yeah. All right. I don't know where this one's going to fall. We'll see where it falls.
We'll see where it goes.
But yeah, I think music itself being devalued by these streaming platforms where people are throwing it up there and they're getting like 0.0005 cents.
Yeah, it's like what is this? What did we say it's like 0.07 of a cent per stream or whatever?
Yeah. That is not particularly favorable to an artist, right? They can get their music streamed 3 million times and probably get like $5,000. Maybe it's $10,000.
Sure,
whatever the number is. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because they put in all this work and they're not reaping the benefits of their labor. So that shit sucks. And conjunctively, or in conjunction, me as a consumer, I really don't want to own music. Like, I love the luxury of having everything at my disposal, or rather everything at my disposal because of Spotify or, Apple Music. I don't want to pay to get an album.
Okay, so you want to have it on like demand, like like Netflix.
Yeah.
You don't want to own movies. It's the same concept, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I did purchase vinyl records, which is going to be the third topic. Don't know where it's going to fall.
Yeah.
But I have purchased vinyl records just simply because I liked the vinyl, and I don't actually have a record player.
Yeah.
But I like the artist enough that I wanted to purchase it, and that was enough for me. And it's a way to directly support.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be like that. So I posit this.
Okay.
And I want to see where you go with this.
All right.
What's your opinion on it? I think there's a lot of scrutiny for cryptocurrencies and even blockchain technology that people think it's a scam. And I think there are plenty of cases where people could say that is the case, where they've done something where they thought they were investing in a potential technology and then they get rug pulled. And that shit sucks. But I think there's actually a practical application for music. So what I say is that there's this concept of non-fungible tokens. So
Right.
It's a digital record that, if you wanted to create a NFT, you create a digital record of some document or something, right? Or maybe it's a piece of media. It could be a piece of art.
Okay.
So on Bandcamp, you can purchase a song for 99 cents, right? But what's the best you can do with that? You have the song, it's 99 cents. You can download it whenever you want. If you can get the file.
Yeah.
But that can be, it's one in an infinite amount of copies of that song, which makes it basically
worthless,
right?
Right.
So what I propose is that, okay, artists, in addition to artists just putting their music on streams,
okay,
that if people purchase, let's say there's 1,000 NFTs, right? Or maybe there's 100. So this is kind of like investing in an artist or jumpstarting their career.
Mm-hmm.
They say, I'm going to make 100 NFTs, which includes a copy of the song. Maybe it's a demo.
Okay.
Within the NFT itself, there will be a digital record that says you will get a license for the song for you to use on your videos. And if you choose to, I don't know how you can make this happen, but I'm sure you can write it in the program within the NFT itself to program it to say you can lease out your NFT to, say, television or movies. Because let's say this artist blows up, right?
Yeah.
And one of the 100 people pitches or is capable of getting this into the hands of a television person.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I have an NFT, a digital record of this song. And the person that is like the music director of a movie or television, I really like this song. I want to do something about it. And in order for them to get this license to use this song, they purchase it or they rent it. Like this person rents it out.
Yeah.
So it makes the song like valuable in and of itself. Or maybe fucking A, dude. Maybe one of the 100 people decide they're going to sell their NFT just to get rid of it because they invested in the band and now the band has blown up and everybody wants the NFT of this demo of the song that eventually became really successful.
Yeah.
And they just want to sell it for, like 1 Bitcoin, or maybe it's 4 Ethereum or 4 Ether rather, or whatever cryptocurrency or whatever that currency is. So then my whole overarching story is that I want music to be valuable again. Right. So you're like, this is almost like stocks where you're investing in a band. You pay $10 to get a copy of their demo. That digital record, that song is yours that you own. And if you choose to do something with it, whether you lease it out to like a movie director or some type of media, or you want to use it in your own YouTube videos and you don't want to have the struggle of getting DMCA'd, you have this digital record. Maybe YouTube integrates this algorithm that says the song that's placed in this video is good because it checked to see if this person had ownership of this song. So therefore it's no longer problematic. So that's kind of like the crux of what I'm getting at is I'd love to see music mean something again. Yeah. Maybe I would love to see blockchain technology or NFTs create meaning for music again. So what do you got to say?
All right. I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to be devil's advocate first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to posit or pitch, I guess, what you're saying, but turn it up to like fucking 11.
Turn it up to 11. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So devil's advocate.
Start with the evils.
Yeah.
Start with the bad.
All right. So with what you're saying about, okay, you give 100 people, the first 100 people or whatever. Right?
Okay. So I forgot to add one more thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So what if you say that you include 1% of the streaming royalties as well included in that? So the longer you stick around, the more you incentivize people to hold on or to create value for this NFT. then you get rewarded for it. So if you're talking about this song on your social media, oh man, this fucking song rules. And maybe you really do care about it, but then music becomes an investment that you get to become part of the community of an artist because you really believe in them in a grassroots level. So that's kind of where I'm at.
All right. Okay. So devil's advocate, right?
Devil's advocate.
Let's just use the movie thing as an example because that's a good one. Okay. Let's say there's a studio.
Okay.
And let's say that now that this is a thing, which I'm sure this is what they would do. Let's say they hire people. And
I will say I'm not an expert in all this shit, but this is.
But I'm just this is how we get to a good final product here is by fucking throwing roadblocks in the way.
Okay.
So let's say that this company, let's say it's fucking. We'll just make it up. Let's say it's fucking a company. We'll just call it Game Rage Productions, right? So we can't get sued for saying shit, all right? Because it's about us. So Game Rage Productions says, hey, we're gonna hire 5 people, and we're just gonna have them troll these NFT things for all these new bands that are putting shit out. And we're going to have them find songs that we think that and tell us, oh, hey, we think these are going to be good songs. So then what we will do is we'll go in and buy one of the first 100 licenses when it gets released, or hell, maybe we'll just buy all 100 licenses. And then we can say, oh, well, we're allowed to use it. So now we don't have to pay the bands for their music to be in our films. And it only costs us $100 basically. Or let's say it was even $1,000. Let's say you charge $10 per thing. $1,000, and now we had this song licensed in our movie, and we can use it in perpetuity forever for anything we want to use it for, and we don't have to pay them anything. Or, well, they already got paid; they got their $1,000, and that's it. So there's that aspect. That if major shit started doing this, I feel like that's what it would turn into. But now let me pause it. Let me turn around to say how you pause it. You do this thing in tiers, okay? I hate to fucking say like fucking Patreon or what, but let's just say it's tiers. So tier 1 is your 99 cents for the song, right? Okay, 99 cents a song. You get like what you're saying. You get that personal use on your own personal YouTube channel, whatever personal projects you have. Even if you make money on that personal project, you have to own the project that it's in. And it doesn't apply to movie. It only applies to people with like YouTube channels. You put in some fine print, right? That X's out the corporations for being able to do this in their shit. Mm-hmm. So that's tier 1. Tier 2, maybe you have, I don't know, you charge it $100 or whatever. That one lets you maybe do a little more with it. I don't know what they could do a little more, right?
Sell it.
Sure, maybe you could sell it to others.
As a collectible.
Or now that we have the power of AI, included with your thing, you're just going to have an AI do it, but an AI will create a unique image about the band, and you'll get fucking a unique image that only you have, and you can sell this image, and you can make money on it or whatever, right? And then you get to tier 3. Tier 3 is like the investment in the band tier.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is where for the NFT, okay, let's just say you do it for the whole album. You don't do it for one song. You do this for the album. Just to make it easy, we'll call it 10. You do 10 of these, and we'll call them an NFT, right? You give out 10 of this one specific NFT. And this NFT, let's say it costs $1,000. All right. So 10 people or 10 whoever's corporation, anybody's up for grabs on this, right? You pay $1,000 and you get a percentage of, well, let's make it 9 just so we can fucking,
make it a round number.
Well, this way the band automatically gets 10%, right? Of anything that has. So because my point, what's going to be done is this song or the album will be turned into a company. This album NFT will become an LLC. They open it up. It's like nothing. It costs like fucking $80 to do it. You open it up and the 10 people who pay basically 10 grand, they now have a 10% stake in, let's say the album name is Game Rage Album, or let's just use fucking Millennial Frog since we own that. Based in Space Pilled. Okay. They own 10% of Based in Space Pilled LLC. And the whole operating agreement is Based in Spaceville LLC is for the usage and the sending out of this album or whatever.
That's cool.
So then Now the band's got 10%, and let's say we make it 9, so that way the band still gets 10%. And then you're allowed to do literally whatever you want with any of the songs on this album. But any money that's made, you have to send in to the thing or whatever, right? And since you're gonna have to sign paperwork for this because you're paying $1,000, so you're gonna sign paper, gonna be on this company. If you fuck around and you try to keep money and hide it, well, then there's all kinds of fucking repercussions and ramifications. So you make sure nobody's gonna be screwing anybody. So this NFT gives you 10% of this LLC for this album, and then any money that's made, you're entitled to 10% of it. So any money that this album makes, so if let's say let's say Paramount buys 10%, well, if they fucking license this to themselves, and let's say they do it for, they license to themselves for free. If it's, you put in some fine print for that, right? So that if a corporation does it, it's not an individual, or maybe you say corporations are not allowed. It's only an individual person.
Oh man, that'd be heaps.
So then you would have to license it to them for money. Mm-hmm. And then you can say, cool, we license it to Paramount to put in some movie, and they're going to pay us $1 million to have this song in their fucking movie.
Also subject to review of the person themselves to to know if they
the band would have the final fucking say.
Yeah.
But then no, you don't even, the band doesn't even have a final say. It's majority vote because there's 10. The band gets 10%, so every share gets a vote. So then that's part of you giving up as the band. You're automatically going to get, if you're like a small band and people think like they believe in you, you can get 10, you're going to get 10 grand no matter what out of this, or 9 grand or whatever you want to call it. Right. And so you're pulling 9 grand out of this, and you can use that money to do whatever. And you're also basically having little minions that are going to go out and potentially sell your shit and peddle it at places. And so, man, they're making you money, and this is passive income now at this point. And then your NFT, you then list that NFT that you made, you list it on the NFT exchange, and then you start to trade it. And then you say, oh, cool. Everybody who has percentages, you get this amount, and then you put it on and I don't know how the NFT exchange works, but it's my understanding that anyone can just make an NFT.
Yeah.
You don't need to you don't have to be a company. You don't have to be anything. Any asshole can just make an NFT and throw it up to be traded and say, whatever, it's worth whatever. Now, if people are going to pay for it, that's a whole nother fucking thing.
And there also is a built-in feature that you can say that whoever minted or created the NFT would get a certain percentage for every sale.
Right. Yeah,
so
exactly.
It goes back to
it goes back to the band or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it goes back to the LLC that you made for the album.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then everyone in there gets 10% of everything. So like I said, if you license an album for a fucking $1 million, or you license one song out of this album for $1 million, every single person is going to get 100 grand that bought into this. Mm-hmm. If nobody involved does it, and the band just got 9 grand to help them out, right? Yeah. And the band's manager or agent goes out and and they license this song for $1 million, everyone involved in the NFT is going to get 10%. And maybe that's how bands don't fucking deal with agents or managers. They say, hey, if you want to be our manager or our agent, you got to buy NFT in this. You got to buy this. You got to buy it. You got to buy in. You got to pay. You're going to pay us $3 grand. You got to have 30% if you want to be our manager.
That'd be hella sick.
And then that's how you get paid. We pay you nothing. You only get 30% of whatever we make off of this album. Mm-hmm. And if you want to continue being our manager, you're going to have to buy 30% into the next one.
Yeah.
And the next one. And the next. And then if you don't, then fine. We'll get our next manager to buy. Like, there's so many options that could be done with that, which would be fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, dude, because if it could that would enable, and dude, maybe they ultimately wouldn't need a manager or fucking a touring, not touring agent, a booking agent. Because if this community of people was created, maybe they'd be motivated enough to just end up becoming the team for the artist because they were already down to begin with.
And they already have a financial stake in this.
Yeah.
So they're not, it's kind of like with this, right? With Game Rage. We are in a position where we can't pay people right now. So if someone wanted to come work with us, we'd offer a small percentage based on whatever with the company. Well, this is people getting a percentage in the band, essentially, or at least in the album. And then if you get lucky and you get in on all of them, well, shit, now you're just fucking, if this band does well and all their albums do well, now you're compounding all of your money, and the band's also benefiting. And then again, the band can go out and do whatever they want to do. They can tour. They're not going to have to pay this LLC touring money or any of that. But the band can still make its money, and you're getting other people to invest in you and have an actual monetary interest in you succeeding. And sure, realistically, will that be viable for some small bands that nobody knows about? Probably not. But just like all these assholes you see on Instagram that, oh, day fucking 75 of posting my music until fans of Korn and Disturbed and whoever fucking find it. Okay, well then now you got to step up your fucking social media game and get people to follow you. And then once you get 10,000 followers, I'm sure you could find 10 of those motherfuckers that got $1,000 lying around that like you enough that would want to be invested in your band if you tried to do this. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it'd be like a frenzy of like a speculative market.
Yep.
For music,
And
which would be fucking great because it makes it gets you, the individual, the retail, or the consumer.
It gets you involved.
It gets you involved. As you're like, oh fuck yeah, dude. Because I mean, well, I guess you can't say it's going to be into perpetuity, because as long as the person, let's say the person dies, or rather the artist dies, right?
Yeah.
And they have no way of promoting the music because the person's fucking dead.
Right.
Well, that would fall on the publisher's role to promote the music.
You don't even need a publisher. The NFT LLC is the publisher.
Well, I guess the point I was getting at, shit, I lost my point.
Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad.
No, it's all good. What was I trying to say? Well, I guess I was saying that you can't theoretically earn royalties in perpetuity
because you're dead.
Because if you're not promoting the music, then that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're lucky enough, if the song is that good, then it's one of the all-time greats. But that's like an outlier situation.
Yes, that is definitely not going to be the norm.
But nonetheless, I think it's still like an interesting idea to even entertain this. And also the other part, like the PROs, like the publishing rights.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they specifically cover the mechanical shit. What was the other? Okay, so there's performance royalties, and there's also mechanical royalties, which is like the composition of the song.
Okay. Like the composing of the song and the structure of it.
And then the performance is obvious. It's you performing the actual song, it being played on the radio, and all
used
that shit.
Stuff,
but so realistically, the only thing that they would be getting is the streaming,
like royalties. The performance royalties, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know, just kind of a interesting thought exercise to maybe look at music as more of like a startup or angel investing, or to seed money for an artist.
And then if a band was able to be successful and get $9,000 off of this album, right?
Off of and let's say you've only been a band for a year, but you're really fucking good. You jump started your career.
Right.
Whereas you would have been struggling just to play shows, and like people are willing to throw money at you because they're like, oh yeah, you're fucking good.
And then with that $9,000, you could take that $9,000 and say, cool, now we can invest that in ourselves, and we can get ourselves maybe better gear. We can get some merchandise made so that we can buy it up front and then sell it. And there's all kinds, and then turn that money into more money. And then, it's that whole fucking phrase, you got to have money to make money. You got to spend money to make money. So it's like, if you don't do that, then you're not going to make money. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing. I think it's viable. I think that there's something there. Obviously, we're two jerk offs sitting in my fucking living room talking about it on the internet. So we're not fucking, we don't have all the kinks ironed out, but I think that they're the kernel of the idea is sound. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just so that's topic one.
All right.
Topic two is South by Southwest is going down.
Oh, buddy.
And I do want to propose or state that the opinions that I have about this is only to create stimulating conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
So it has come out that there have been a number of artists, maybe I would say somewhere in the dozens, and maybe that list is growing since I've seen this post. But there was this artist named Squirrel Flower that was talking about some of the artists that have decided to drop out as a result of some of the sponsors for South by Southwest. One of them being the U.S. Army, and I don't remember exactly if the company itself, Raytheon, was mentioned or it was the subsidiary of Raytheon themselves, but that was enough for a lot of artists to walk away from this festival, meaning that they posit that this festival endorses what's happening in Gaza or Palestine, what's going on between Israel and Palestine. It seems to be what the problem may be. So these artists are pulling out and are stating on social media that they don't like that the U.S. Army is sponsoring the South by Southwest, and this presumably defense contract company is also sponsoring it. So this is like an interesting subject because, one, I think this is something you as an artist, if you really cared about morality or you're conscious of things like what's going on overseas and you follow brands and companies, that you would look into, for example, this festival itself. Would you not take the time to look into everything this thing has to offer, including the sponsors themselves, to say, you know what, I'm not going to pay the $80 and I'm not going to make a spectacle out of pulling out of South by Southwest? It just seems very odd to me.
I don't
understand, to be honest.
I don't understand it either, because, and what's unfortunate is it's virtue. I hate to say it because it's like a virtue signaling, right? It's because it's virtue signaling to me, and it's also ignorance. And I don't mean, and I want people to understand what I mean by when I say ignorance. I'm not saying stupidity, because a lot of people think ignorant means stupid. Ignorance is just unaware. It's just you don't know. You're ignorant to something. It means you don't understand or you don't know about it. So for those people who don't fucking know, this is not controversial. It's not picking a side. It's a simple fact. The United States Army is not involved in any way whatsoever in the situation in Israel. There's no Army personnel that have been involved, right?
And I will throw out that I think they see it is that any U.S. armed forces, you can pigeonhole all of them and say that technically that's what they stand for at the moment, is that they're willing to, the U.S. government is in alliance with Israel, right? So loosely you can say that it's not a stretch of the imagination to say that any branch of the armed forces is going to operate under that notion. So maybe that's where those artists are coming from. Yeah,
I can see that somewhat, but it's from their perspective, it is factually it's just incorrect. It's just not. Oh yeah, go ahead. That's cool. I'll just pause it so that way you can hear. So hold on, stand by. Pause it. Wait, we're back. Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. All right, we're good. Okay, so back to what I was saying about. I can kind of see that, but it's still factually incorrect. Again, virtue signaling, because if you want to express your displeasure with what the United States government's doing, you have an option to do that. It's called voting. If your representatives are not, because let's just be honest, if people maybe are ignorant to the fact of how the government works, but the U.S. Army doesn't decide who they fucking send money to or who they send weapons to or who they do anything with. Congress tells them that. The president tells them that, right? They follow orders. That's kind of how it is. So if you're a band and you're not happy with the way things are going, sure, you're pigeonholing the U.S. Army into being the representative of the entire United States government. However, they're not the ones who make that decision about where the shit goes. It's your elected officials. So if you want to protest something, maybe don't go to South by Southwest and say you're doing it because the Army and one defense, the defense contractor, which I can't figure out the name. Yeah, it was owned by Raytheon, but I looked at all the sponsors of this, and there are other defense companies involved that are not talked about. One of them is Embraer, which is they're an aerospace company that makes jets. They make fucking aircraft, and they make an aircraft, the Gripen E. That's their modern aircraft that they make. It's a fighter bomber aircraft. They make that. Nobody's saying shit about them. Nobody's boycotting because Embraer fucking sponsored this. So I could understand maybe that if you wanted to say that. But also Embraer doesn't sell fucking, they don't tell people who they sell jets to what to do with them, right? The whole point of what I'm saying is saying you're boycotting a company or you're boycotting an event because it's sponsored by a company that makes a product that's used in, let's say, this war in Israel, right? Let's just say Game Rage magazine, so we don't get sued again. Let's say Game Rage magazine Stinger missile. Well, okay, shit. That Game Rage magazine missile system. All right. Let's just say we sell that shit to the Israelis. We've sold it to the Israelis for years. Okay. And now they're fighting this war, and now they're using it as a weapon of war, right? Well, nobody gave a shit about us giving it to them beforehand. No one was protesting shit about that. But now that they're using it in a way you don't like, you're going to protest something that I'm sponsoring, that Game Rage is sponsoring, right? That's virtue signaling. Don't fucking, because I have no control over what they do with it. If you are fundamentally against me making missile systems, then you should be protesting me making missile systems. I would understand that. But if you haven't said shit about me making missile systems or me making anything until now because, you see that I'm sponsoring this event and I just happen to be a defense contractor, and I don't even think that defense contractor actually sells anything to fucking Israel. So really, the U.S. Army and this defense contractor that have nothing to do with this conflict are being targeted for protesting because people don't agree with this conflict. And again, they're ignorant. They don't understand that these two things are not involved. They're not something that is making the decisions in Israel to do whatever it is they're doing, right? They're not even involved. So because they're quote unquote a military, U.S. Army is a military organization and a defense contractor creates things that the military uses, they're just pigeonholing everybody into the one fucking bucket and saying, well, if you're if you're a military adjacent or military something, you must be tangentially involved somehow with this thing that's going on over here. That's a military action, right? That's just what it seems like. And to me, it just reeks of ignorance. And sure, I don't know what the real reason is. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough money this year to go to these fucking things, or maybe they just didn't feel like going now, or maybe they were looking for a reason to get out and they just said, fuck it. We'll just say this. This is a hot button issue. Let's just say, the Army is the mega sponsor. It's like it's one of the 5 like major sponsors. I mean, it's on everything. And here's the other thing that pisses me off. This is not the first year that the Army has sponsored South by Southwest.
Yeah, it's been in previous years.
And nobody gave a shit then. So you can't tell me now that all of a sudden you're just going to fucking have a conscience. You went and performed there before. Everyone else did. No one had a fucking problem. Christ, I'm sure the Army's been sponsoring South by Southwest since the Iraq and Afghanistan days. And everybody was against that, but nobody fucking boycotted South by Southwest by saying, well, you're going to have the Army. We're against this war, but the Army. If that were the case, if this is what they were protesting about, I would say shit. That's a point that I could see. That makes logical sense to me, right? I could get that because the Army's there in Afghanistan and you're protesting this war, so you're not going to go at an event they sponsor. I totally get that. And I just want to say this too. I'm not also saying I'm against people using their freedom of protest and freedom of speech. I think that's excellent. I think that protesting things is great. I think that voicing your opinion is amazing. I just think that if you want to be taken seriously, you need to fucking know the issue and you need to have actual, not proof, but you need to have a solid reason for doing what you're doing. Otherwise, you just look like an idiot.
I think also to supplement that thing is the pins that they get to play a show. I don't remember what the exact amount it is. The exact amount is fucking A. I think it's like $750 and then $350 for an individual artist, not a band. So it's like it's not much,
right? What you paid to go fucking apply to this shit.
Yeah, well, shit, I forget what the application costs, but that could also be another reason why artists are pulling out, because that's been an ongoing subject. But it's like, if you, I just don't understand. In addition to that, the morality thing, that if artists don't like South by Southwest, don't fucking go, dude.
Just say that.
Because in reality, I think it's very much like the fucking Voice or American Idol thing. I think artists think they can go there and possibly solve all their problems because they think that they'll play at a venue, or maybe they'll be added to one of the official South by Southwest affiliated venues or stages, and think, oh yeah, this is going to start my career. This is going to solve all my problems. Nah, man, the struggle or the opportunities to succeed it's nonstop. Like this isn't going to be your one size fits all solution.
It's not going to make or break. What you're trying to do.
It has to be like 30 milestones. It's 50 milestones that you get across that you eventually make it. So if you don't want to go, don't fucking go, and save your $80 for the fucking application, and you won't get that $750 for I think you would end up saving yourself a lot of money by not going and possibly being lost in obscurity, because there's probably a saturated amount of bands
that go to this
fucking thing. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing but everybody feels like they have to go because it's at this point, it's a rite of passage for a band to go perform at this fucking thing. But it's like, dude, if all of you collectively said, fuck South by Southwest, maybe you might make a difference.
But if 6 of you are doing it, well, they've got 150 other assholes that are willing to take your spot, that are already playing. And Christ, the number of applications they got, I'm sure they ranked them all or whatever, and they probably said, cool, what's the next 6 that we got on the list? Let's call them and say, hey, congratulations, we made an error and you've been accepted now. And then get them to come and fucking do it. You will be replaced. That's just, unless you get more people on board, I guess,
One of the funny things that ended up happening is that there's a lot of unofficial South by Southwest things around
that area
around South by. So there's a lot of bars or things that will do South by Southwest. They'll say unofficial South by Southwest showcase,
right?
So then it's hilarious because the artists get to have their cake and eat it too, to say, oh, I went to South by Southwest. I get to morally grandstand and say I upstood South by Southwest.
And now I'm going to probably get paid more by this bar, and I'm going to,
and I'm going to go play at this fucking
down the street.
And then the bars themselves are like, fuck yeah. Like, they're not going to go play at these, official South by Southwest venues or stages. They're going to come to us because they have integrity. Like,
oh yeah, man. Listen, if I was a bar owner, I would be like, the second I heard about this, I would send them all emails and be like, I'd be like, hey, even whether we agreed with them or not, I'd just be like, we stand with you on this issue. Why don't you come play at our bar during this time period, and then fuck the man. We'll protest all together, and then you can put on your own show and sell tickets to it.
Let's make bank together.
Yeah. Let's make bank at the expense of the man.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite things, is that if anything, it's empowering small businesses to take advantage of this moment. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously the butt munch artists get to to morally grandstand and also have their cake and eat it too and make their money.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And also say they technically went to South by Southwest.
Right. Yeah.
And then one other funny thing was that Governor Greg Abbott of Texas.
Oh yeah.
He's basically told artists that if they feel that way, they can go fuck off.
Yeah.
So that was pretty hilarious.
To the extent that South by Southwest had to put out a statement saying, well, we do not agree with the governor's statements and please don't fuck off. And all
right.
Funny too.
So I know this is technically not related to music, or maybe it is. I don't know.
We'll find out.
But I just had to shoehorn this in because it wasn't on the BFN. But man, well, I hate both parties. Like I just hate both political parties.
Yeah.
But goddamn, dude, one thing that pisses me off about conservatives is for the party that says they want small amount of government, they sure love to fucking, put a lot of regulations or just be dickheads. So Pornhub is basically banned, or you're not able to visit it in Texas, North Carolina, and I forgot a few other countries. You will need ID verification, and Pornhub themselves said, this is a violation of your
First Amendment rights.
Yeah. So they're pulling out. They don't.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of that?
I think it's fucking ridiculous. I get the whole point of what they're trying to do of protecting minors from uploading shit on the thing. So that's why they want ID verification for everything. I get it. But at the same time,
it's poor parenting.
It is. It's if you're just a shitty parent and you don't already have an like the blocker on your fucking kid's thing, it comes with the computer. It comes with everything. You can just turn it on. All you got to do is just hit boop and that's it. Hell, you don't even got to turn it on. You just type in, create new profile, Jimmy and kid's profile. Yes. And it automatically, he can't access any pornography or anything inappropriate whatsoever. Now, if Jimmy's a little bastard and he's a little hacker kid and he figures out how to get past it, well, that's not on you. You fucking tried.
Hey, dude, if he's that clever, then he fucking earned it.
Yeah, he earned it.
He earned beating off.
He earned that jerk-off session of watching Mia Khalifa get rammed by 6 black dudes, all right? He earned that shit. So,
How do you tie this in with? How can we tie this in with music? Do you have?
Yes,
can you correlate?
I can jump to a conclusion or two here.
All right, do it.
Because one of the things that I've noticed on Pornhub is that sometimes they have licensed music playing in the background, and I don't think that they licensed that music or they paid for it, but yet Pornhub is still allowing it to be up on their thing. And I'm sure they're not fucking checking or I don't know how Pornhub people get paid, but that shit's there. I don't know how it's getting past, or maybe Pornhub has no censorship whatsoever on its fucking thing or no checks and balances or whatever. I will say this. I did create a Game Rage Pornhub account.
Oh, nice.
And because I was going to start posting all the podcasts and everything on there.
Fuck yeah.
And I am going to start utilizing it for video content because I don't think that YouTube should be our only option. I think we should fucking branch out. But there's no other ones that are big enough except for porn ones. So like the Pornhub, I don't know, the X Hamster. There's like a bunch of them. I haven't made any accounts on those yet, just on Pornhub. But when I did it, I told them we were a corporation. I made a corporate account, okay? A performer corporate account is what you have to make. Those motherfuckers would not let me create this account unless I sent them a picture of my fucking ID. And not only did I have to take a picture of my ID, I had to do a 3D fucking face scan of myself so that they could verify that I was the motherfucker on the picture.
Good Lord.
And it took like a week because they ran a background check to make sure I was a real person. And yeah, we got our account, but I had to go through a lot. So I don't buy the Texas thing of them saying they're trying to protect the minors from being trafficked or whatever. That's what they're kind of using. And then they're throwing in there, oh, we don't want them jerking off to porn. So I get that. But at the end of the day,
we need to start investing in Playboy magazines. printed media.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Which is why it's called Game Rage Magazine, because we're going back to the olden days. See, this all circles back. But we have to ask ourselves, how does this situation affect Snoop Dogg's legacy? That's what we need to know. And that's how we tie this back into music. Because if they're willing to do this to pornography, they'll do this to music. They'll do this to musical artists. They'll censor them. This is the beginning. This is just the first steps of censorship. Pretty soon, not only are you going to get, it's just going to be like at Walmart when they decided they didn't want to sell explicit content anymore. They were only going to sell fucking edited versions of CDs. And I was like, I could not believe this. This is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Corporate censorship. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So that's how it's tied into music now.
Perfect.
Fucking excellent. We made it music related.
All right. Do you have anything else to add about the South by Southwest thing?
Nah, I said what I said. I stand by it.
All right. Last thing is just kind of a quick subject, but so since we talked about briefly printed vinyl.
Yeah.
So there are only so many machines that exist to print vinyl. And that creates a backlog across the board for like every artist. And one person that has not personally felt the side effect of this is Taylor Swift. She's basically hogging or taking priority in terms of printing her albums that because she's getting like a bunch of printed variant albums and.
But why?
Because people are fucking buying it. Like, okay, so there's something of a boom in vinyl records, and this is aside from like.
Is that why I see vinyl record players at Walmart and Target now?
Probably, but yeah, I mean, vinyl records they've been back, I guess, but people are really into it. But the thing is, they're also expensive and shit, dude. The Taylor Swift ones are like $35, $50. Who the fuck knows what
fuck
outrageous fucking numbers for Taylor Swift, but people are willing to pay for it. So as a result of that, the demand is so high, that everybody fucking else is getting put in the backlog so that they can make way for Taylor Swift because people want to buy these things right now. So it's like,
fuck, that's where the money's at. So of course,
how are you
gonna say no?
If you're a company that makes vinyl records, how are you going to fucking say no to that?
Yeah, because Taylor Swift is going to order 10,000 or 1 million, whereas everybody else is like, oh, let me get 1,500. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I got an idea for an episode.
All right.
Okay. I've always just been curious. What is the absolute best way to listen to fucking music, right? Not to get off track, but I want to put this out so I don't fucking forget.
Okay.
We take an album. It would have to be a band or someone from like the 80s. Like maybe let's just say Metallica, for example. We get the same album on a vinyl record, a cassette tape, a compact disc, and also obviously on digital. And then we listen to every single song
the exact same way on every single one of those. Like we'll listen to track number 1. We'll listen to the first track on vinyl. We'll listen to it on cassette. We'll listen to it on CD, and then we'll listen to this. And then we'll talk about, okay, what sounded different on each one? Did it even sound different? I mean, fuck, does it all sound the same? Is there a better way? Was there more certain things that were hit harder? Did the bass hit harder in this one and that? I would be fucking very curious to see what that would lead to. What would be the premier way to listen to music? Shit, man. I hope if we pick something, we have to pick something that's accessible.
Well, that we can
somewhat popular, but not too popular, because then
it would be expensive.
Then it would be expensive, because if we pick Metallica,
a vinyl of Metallica might be fucking.
Well, I mean, if it's like a remastered, or if it's not original,
it's got to be an original one though. Like that's.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, I don't know, because I guess it doesn't matter if it's on the same format, then it doesn't really matter, right? Like a cassette tape, they don't remaster those. Like they don't make those. I don't think anybody's making cassette tapes anymore like they are vinyl. But
that's if we can even score.
Yeah, I'd have to just see what we could find and then go from there, I guess, probably. But and then also I would like to do not music related, but I would also like to do on the movies one, we do a laser disc, a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a VHS tape. Maybe even a Betamax if we can find one of them. But like we take like I would love to just own the Star Wars ones for collectability. So like let's say we take Star Wars and we watch goddamn, we watch Star Wars on all fucking formats. And find out what the actual best way to watch it was. Like, what is the cleanest way to see it? And then we go, and then, we could talk about it. It'd be an episode deal. But anyways, but back to what you're saying about the Taylor Swift shit. That makes perfect fucking sense. I get why that's happening. I'm curious to know why there's only a certain number of vinyl machines.
Because there's not that many to begin with.
Right. Well, like there's not, people aren't making them like that now, but now that this has been coming back to be a thing in the last fucking few years, is this technology so obsolete that we can't even make it again, or it's not worth making again? Like the machine to make the vinyl?
I don't know. I just I think it was just I don't know if it was considered like a dead medium, but it was like all these because I think once these vinyl companies like decommission these things, and maybe
they just destroy them.
Maybe they weren't even broken, but they just destroyed them.
Yeah,
that it just resulted in only so many. And I don't actually know why there haven't been more machines that exist. But shit, man, maybe we should get into the vinyl record business. Yeah.
And then we could take and then see we wouldn't be able to get Taylor Swift's ones, or maybe we could, but if we couldn't, we go to all the people that are in the backlog and be like, hey,
we'll take care.
Come here for twice the price. Hey,
yeah, we'll take care of you.
Yeah, we'll take care of business.
But that was just a quick topic to talk about the
that is
fucking global side effect that
Taylor Swift is having on
Jesus Christ, dude.
That's insanity.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anyways, what do we have in terms of time?
Hour and 16, almost 17.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Fuck yeah.
Call it a wrap.
Call it a wrap. Anyways, all right. Well, thanks for listening. And, you can go fucking follow us on all the shit. You can follow Adams, All Gas, No Trash Official, no spaces, no underscores, no bullshit. It's just all together.
Yeah. And if this doesn't end up coming out after, or if it ends up coming out after, check out the Rachel Bull interview for anybody that's a music fan. This woman has some stories about music's top artists that I think will be enlightening. It'll be entertaining, informative. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So please listen to that. It'll come out March 20th. So if this episode comes out later, then it's going to be available. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So go check it out, the Without Censor podcast, and you can also listen to all the other episodes of the Without Censor podcast while you're at it. So anyways, well, thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
That was the Game Rage Music Show. Thanks for listening.